We get into one more video. Heading to McDonald's. Uh, about everyone's favorite subject, the church. So we all have our likes and dislikes about what the world calls the church, and that's kind of my focal point. Is what they present the church as isn't at all what the church is meant to be. It goes all the way back to the fallen angels who caused the disobedience known as sin that separated man from God. And it states in Genesis that it was during a time where men knew not God, right? They were detached from Him. That the same slimy sacks of fill in the blank, presented themselves to man saying, hey, worship us, we're gods. They never were gods. They'll never be gods. God's always consistently said throughout the Old Testament, there is no gods beside me. So how did we come to this? As I said, this is the world's version of church, and I want to put that word in quotations. Traditions of men, as I say, going all the way back to the fall. So, false gods implementing pagan religions in order to steal the blessings, the sacrifices, the glory, and the worship from God, right? Well, the church in Scripture is considerably different. The followers of Christ met wherever they met, sometimes in buildings, sometimes in a field, sometimes on a hill, sometimes in the valley. You meet in the river if you want to, where two or more are gathered, there He is with you, and that is gathered in His name. Some people like to act like I'm misquoting it. Well, that's implied, right? Where two or more are gathered in His name, He is with them. So it could be anywhere, it could be any time, it could be any number. This is the true church. And the way that these people acted was not taking offerings every week, but instead they would give of their own resources to the greater congregation. Shared resources, shared wealth. How could we all get along if we chose to live in such a way? We combined our money for not just each individual person's gain, but for the gain of all. Like, say you're in a small village, like I'll just use Merrickville, Ontario as an example because it's pretty small. In a place that size, a simple question, does everybody need their own vacuum cleaner? Well, you could argue and say, yes, we all need our own vacuum cleaner. Well, not really. 20 or 30 vacuum cleaners could, maybe even less, could service that whole village. And, just a thought like that. Like, do we all need our own car? Well, obviously we don't. Why exactly is that the mentality to think that we should all have our own car? There's so many other forms of transportation other than purchasing a vehicle, you know. But those are just some thoughts. Remember, as I said about the church, open your eyes, read a book, right? How is it that people that go to these false versions of church have their own Bibles and read them and don't see that there's an indifference between now and then? And why does now have to be any different if we're trying to get what they had? So think about it. Have a good night, guys. I'm done. I'm out of here.